I'm sure some of you guys have heard about Mia Ballard and how Hachette, one of the big 5 publishers, got her into a deal and then found out that she used AI and then basically kicked her out of it. I kind of want to talk about it because there's been like a lot of back and forth, and especially since there is one creator specifically that has mentioned that one of the copies that was used and ran through AI was a pirated copy from a place I won't mention, but I also have that copy. I actually have 3 different copies. Well, I have 2 copies. I have one legit copy and I have the other copy. And from what I've seen, we'll see on here, we're going to talk about all 3 copies. So it all starts back with this guy named Thaddeus McIlroy. And let's look at his thing here. I'm mostly putting it up on screen so you guys can see that this guy is the person who started it. But it also starts, I feel like it starts before that, but it starts here because this is the first thing that blew up, right? It starts on the New York Times. AI is writing fiction. Publishers are unprepared. Books publishing has few safeguards in place to prevent unwitting publications of a novel heavily generated by artificial intelligence. I'm going to talk a little bit about this article. So Mia Ballard wrote this book, and it is kind of, it's like a sugar baby meets a guy who wants her to be a dog for him. And it's kind of a racy book. I don't need to go into too much detail, but it's supposed to be a horror novel with romance. It's a dark romance horror novel kind of thing. And it got real popular. It was self-published in 2025 in February, and people loved it. Well, people loved it. So Hachette, which is a publisher, decided to pick it up, and they released a version of it in November. Now, that was a difficult version to get a hold of because there's like almost no versions of it anywhere on the internet, which is so weird to me. But there was a program, it's called Pangram. It's an AI detection program, and this dude ran the test on the text, and it came up that 78% was AI generated. Now, if you guys remember from my last video where I literally just talked about this, mine, when I put it into Winston AI for free, it said it was 75% human written. But this came up the opposite, which is 78% AI generated. And it says that the Times had also used several AI detection tools and found patterns characteristic of AI generated text, like gaps in logic, excessive use of melodramatic adjectives, and over-reliance on the rule of 3. Now, Mia Ballard does not have any kind of online presence. It's very small. She had a TikTok that didn't have a lot of followers. She had an Instagram, I believe, which she is now deactivated due to harassment. And she only kind of somewhat addresses the allegations of AI. But the thing is Mia Ballard denies using AI, but then she kind of takes it back a little bit. And here's a screenshot right here that was on Frankie's channel. So there is a YouTuber named Frankie's Shelf, and Frankie did, I'm sure you guys have seen this video by now. It says right here, oh my goodness, I'm not even going to turn off my thing, but the title of the video is, I am pretty sure this book is AI slop. I suggest everyone to go watch that video. It really dives in deeply into what is wrong with the novel, and Frankie gives a lot of opinions about if it was written with AI or not. But there is a slight issue with the versions of this book. So there is so many editions, and we're going to go talk about the editions real quick. So I know some books go through different editions. So there is one that was done by Wildfire. I have that copy. There is one that was supposed to be released by a different publisher that never got released. There's this one here that is plagiarizing an artist. We'll talk about that later. And then there's the other version of it, which is this one right here, this one on the left, and the final one, which is this one here on the right. So because of this New York Times article, Mia Ballard had her contract with Hachette completely canceled. And every place is like, no, we're not selling any of these books. Absolutely not. We only want human content, no AI generated content. You have to have written your book. You know, they had strict policies about that. And the first commercial novel ever pulled over evidence of AI. And I'm sure you guys know it is so easy to make an indie book, publish it. And I talked about it in one of my other videos. People are doing that, generating whole novels in a day, editing it in a day, posting it up with an AI generated thing under a fake pen name and just reaping the benefits. So they're basically generating slop and people are reading it because they don't know it's AI. So one of the problems comes from the fact that the guy who wanted to come to the New York Times, he was talking about this novel. Thaddeus was talking about this novel. So there was already allegations about this book back in July. That's when Thaddeus decided he was going to get involved. Shortly after it got picked up for print, right, by Orbit. They already have a acquisition page right here that they have now deleted where it says Shy Girl by Mia Ballard. They're proud to pronounce. They're going to basically release it. It just kind of goes over it. It says Shy Girl is a visceral explanation of bodily autonomy, feminine rage, and the grotesque transformation that comes with reclaiming power. Now, he thought it would be an interesting story because was Shy Girl largely a product of AI? And does it matter? Because we see that Hay House takes AI generated novels and AI generated content. So, and I've seen it all over threads that trade publishers are quietly taking AI stuff and dancing around it kind of delicately, as he so put it. So before he even ran it through AI, he wanted to get a copy of it, like a physical copy, I'm assuming, or, a DRM free copy of it, but he wasn't able to get it. And when he ordered it from overseas, he didn't want to wait for it, so he just downloaded the one from the internet that he found. Now, he took that one, he put it into Pangram, and that's how it came back, as that. Now, a lot of other people have said, including Dre's dossier, that this was a pirated copy of the book, and that's true, it is. He took a pirated copy and ran it through whatever service that he is technically connected to, because he knows the guy who runs Pangram. So it feels like he was looking for something. You know what I mean? It felt like he was looking for someone to put on blast that already had some allegations, but he was trying to wait for the opportune moment. So now I kind of want to talk about the versions, because even though there are tons of versions out there, it doesn't really matter, because I believe from what I've seen that no editor actually looked over the text. That's what I believe. I believe no editor really looked it over. I have two versions. I have one that was the Wildfire one, and then I have the original, the bad copy. Okay, so this is what I believe. Going through all of the versions myself and seeing the UK version that was released out into the world, that's apparently only people have the physical copy of. But I will show you guys that I've seen that there's pictures of the text on Reddit. Sorry, not Reddit, on Twitter. And that's what I am using to make this assumption. This is what I believe personally. So I did not read the entire book. I am not interested in it. But what I did do is I went through about 100 different pages on both copies, and there are some differences. I believe that the pirated copy that Thaddeus has is the original self-published version that has, I believe this book is AI. I do. I believe that the self-published version is the one that's online that everyone has downloaded, right? It is the most messy. It has the most issues. And what I believed happened with the Galaxy Press version, the original version, is that Mia Ballard did generate it with AI, She had probably an outline, probably did it with ChatGPT or whatever she did it with. And then when she was done, she went back and she edited herself because there's too many issues going on in the text that don't make sense based on Frankie's video. So there's a lot of AI-isms, but the thing is it doesn't, the problem with the text is that the Galaxy Press version was edited probably by Mia Ballard herself. So she tried to get some of the AI-isms and rewrite some of the sentences. I'm saying some of the sentences because most of the book is basically the fucking same. It looks exactly the same. Okay, so now when we get to the Wildfire version, the one that was released in the UK, it has an added part that's the Before Beverly story that was added to the novel. Now, Thaddeus has the exact same thing that I had, where both versions are basically the same, but there is clearly some copy editing. I would say that they're basically fixing the grammar, maybe making a few small changes. There's no line editing being done to fix it, make it look better, because it's written poorly. In my opinion, it's written poorly. I'm not saying I'm the best writer in the whole world, but it's not a book I would pick up on my own. Okay, Mia was doing her best, and she chose to use AI. Now, the thing is because of the copy edit, it really didn't change anything. Now, I believe that copy edit is the only edit that was professional edit, because what I think that once Hachette took it on, or Hatchet, whatever the fucking name is, once they took on the book, they didn't want to change it too much because it was already selling like hotcakes. Changing the text too much could alienate readers and upset them, so no one really gave it a deep read through. I would love to hear from the editor, the copy editor, on why they didn't check it through. I feel like for it being professional, they should have had like all types of edits. They should have had a developmental editor on it, line editor on it, not just a copy editor on it, just changing a few things here and there, because I would say it's 95% the fucking same from all of what I looked at. That's why I believe seeing the other copy, the copy that I looked at and the UK copy are the same copy. That's it. There's the third version it might have a different cover or whatever that they were going to do for America, but it was essentially going to be the same thing because they were just looking to make money off of this one book. So that's my interpretation. I'm going to put up a few right here. You guys can see that there is, I'm going to put up on screen for you. These two pages are essentially the fucking same. The only thing that's different between the self-published version and this other version is that they made it not look like shit inside the book. It was formatted to not look like shit because the original version looks like shit. So it doesn't matter that the person who ran it through Pangram is connected to this other guy, because other people have ran it through the AI. It doesn't matter because it was written with AI. It doesn't matter who he's connected to, what kind of conspiracy. It was written with AI, and Hachette just didn't fucking look at it. That's it. That's all there is to it. Nobody looked at it, and they're embarrassed. They got themselves embarrassed, and that's their own fault. And it's also Mia's fault because Mia also said, here, I'll actually read, I'll read this thing that she said here. I'll post it up, but you guys can hear me. Hello, Frank. This is what she posted on Frankie's YouTube channel, and then she deleted it. Hello, Frankie. This is genuinely heartbreaking to write because I've been a fan of your channel for a long time, but I need to clarify a few things. I did not edit or format Shy Girl myself. At the time, I didn't have any money to hire a professional editor or formatter. Those services are expensive, and I was working on a broken laptop, doing the best I could with what I had. Someone in my writing group offered to help and assured me that she'd do a thorough job, so I trusted her. In the process, she also changed a lot of the wording and encouraged me to lean more poetic because that's my background, and I listened. I should have done one final careful pass before publishing, and that's on me. But the formatting and editing issues being pointed at are not present in the traditionally published version, which is not really true. It's not really true. Most importantly, I did not use AI to write the book. What I can say is that the version you're referencing was edited by somebody else, and I only later realized she may have run parts of it through AI during the editing process. When my first book, Sugar, was edited by someone different, I never received these AI allegations. These accusations started after I used the same person for my novella, which I have since pulled for early versions of Shy Girl. I'm not able to watch the rest of the video for my mental health, but I needed you to hear this directly. Being a Black woman in the publishing space has been exhausting, and I get attacked constantly when all I'm trying to do is write, Mia. Now, I just wanted to point out a few things that I noticed, and before I get, but Nimbus, I know, but I do that in my writing. I know we all do it in our writing. I'm talking about this specific person in this specific instance. I better not see no but Nimbus in the comments, I swear to God. So right here, it says, the silence stretches heavy and loaded. That is like, that's a very AI sentence. And this is just on the sample, easy for people to go look over on their own. Like here's another few sentences. Colors bloom and stretch a kaleidoscope, weaving its way through the once mundane space. I open my eyes and the mirror isn't just a reflection anymore. It's a portal to something vaster, unforgiving. In this moment, I am no longer contained. Like, do you kind of see what I'm talking about here? Also, she uses AI covers, right? So I don't even need, I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. These are glass cherries. Clearly they're a little bit see-through. Some of her mouth has cherries in them. The tongue is really weird and in the back. There's no way a lip could hold on like this. There's random cherries over here. I mean, it's an air, and it looks more like blood than it does cherry juice. So so now let's talk about her plagiarism, okay? She has something to say about her plagiarism, and I'm gonna show you guys right now what she said. I'm gonna read it. It says here, before I go into it, I'm gonna read this statement. I'm the author and I can answer that for you. I found this image on the cover of a public domain website and manipulated it, transformed the image into my own. I have a background in graphic design and created the cover of Sugar myself through Photoshop. Have no idea if the original photo was AI, but I changed it and I made it my own without any help of AI. Hope that answer is satisfactory. So because she clearly generated it, we're gonna look, I put it into Google and I asked Google to show me visual matches so we could find in general if anything even looks relatively the same. And all I keep seeing is her stuff or other stuff. When I look this over, I believe she just generated it. That's what I think. So I think she changed her covers because the original cover for the Sugar novel, it was this thing. And that was clearly done by herself. And I'm sure whatever service she used for AI, because I don't know what service it is. I'm certain it's not like one of the big ones because like if it was Midjourney, it would have looked better. So it had to be something like Dolly, maybe, I don't know. So let's get into her controversy. So there is an artist named Whyn Lewis. Shy Girl uses this piece as the cover. And this is her painting it, her doing, it's beautiful work. Her work revolves around these dogs. And most people recognize Shy Girl using this. So let me talk about what I think that she did. It says she stated, she's kind of a liar. I just don't believe Mia in any capacity whatsoever. I believe she's 100% a liar. So in some instances, it says that she found it on Google. She says in this person's DMs right here. So when they needed a new artist, they got this person here, Stephanie Hess, and all she did was put a bow on it. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's giving, I'm not saying that this is a bad cover, okay? I'm not giving this person their flowers, okay? I'm saying that it does seem kind of shitty that they didn't just hire Whyn to do an actual cover. So instead, they asked this person who took a public domain piece of art, put a bow on it, and did some nice cover stuff. So there's this right here too, where Mia goes to this just an answer thing. And he goes, I self-published a book called Shy Girl and used artwork I found on Pinterest without identifying the original artist, Whyn Lewis. And it said here, who I know now is Whyn Lewis. I admit I did not do sufficient research to locate the artist because I did not expect the book to reach a large audience. I assumed only a few people would ever read it. However, the book became unsuspectedly successful, and I was later picked up by a publisher, which resulted in the original image being circulated more widely. My publisher initially considered reaching out to the artist, but ultimately decided to change the cover completely. The artwork in question is no longer being used, nor is being sold by me or my publisher. That said, the image is still connected to my book, which is why the issue is resurfaced. Whyn has now contacted me directly and requested that I disclose all royalties earned from the book due to the infringement, as well as take down any remaining use of her artwork, which I have already done. So she's talking back and forth with this person. It was 4 months from March to June before being taken down for distribution. They have already responded to Whyn Lewis's request, and if so, what was your response? Yes, I have been in contact using her artwork for my book to get taken down, and I have ceased all sales on the book with her artworks. And he goes, perfect, I need some further details to help the lawyer. Can I have your name and then number? And then that's basically it. So to me, this is not an excuse. So this is what we call a pattern of behavior. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. When someone has a pattern of behavior, you can kind of assume that they're doing stuff that's shitty. So this is what I think. This is the timeline. I believe that she doesn't look like someone who would write books. That's just, I'm putting it out there. Okay. She doesn't look like someone who writes books, but she has a lot of interesting ideas, and not for nothing, the ideas that she had are interesting. I think that she is not a writer. She does not look like a writer. I'm sorry. And she wanted to have a little bit of side income, and she had some ideas. She asked ChatGPT and she fleshed them out, had an outline, then she probably watched a video on how to generate a book. So she did that, and she did that for both books. I believe they're 100% written with AI with few edits. That's what I think. And then she said she never expected it to become big. So both books, probably got her a little bit of money, something she was literally doing on the side, and had no intentions on telling anybody anything. She had an ugly cover that was the original cover for Sugar. And then when she figured out she could use AI, she started using AI. But then what she probably did for the cover for, Shy Girl, is she thought she could get away with fair use, I think. Because she didn't really think, I don't believe that I just don't believe that she is finding things on public domain websites and decided just to use it. I think that she probably found something that was interesting to her on Google, because there is this, let me tell you something. I've talked about this before. There's this type of art called orphaned work, okay? So orphaned work is what happens when, let's say something happens to me, right? And my family deletes all of my social media. So there's nothing of me left. I know some people have downloaded some of my artwork. And if they post it on Pinterest and then they leave it up there, there's no name, there's no link, there's nothing to get back to me, no email, no nothing. And you can't contact the person who posted it to even find out where they got it from. So now it's orphaned work. So someone takes that and, posts it somewhere for a book cover, and then it just, it never becomes a popular book, so it's just hidden in the Amazon machine. But if a book happens to end up getting lots of sales and lots of attention and lots of eyes, maybe someone will come back and be like, hey, that was Nimbus's art. And then it could maybe get back to me, but only if I happen to be on the internet. If I was gone or something happened to me, I would never know. I think that sometimes by being ignorant, because this is an ignorant move, I feel that just taking something off Pinterest and then saying, yeah, like I'm aware that when I take stuff from Google or Pinterest or wherever, that it belongs to somebody, even if it can't be attributed. This is why I believe she used AI, is because that is so ignorant that I cannot and do not believe that when she downloaded that image, she thought, oh, I don't believe it. She probably thought, this looks public domain. It was on Pinterest. It looked old. She thought she could use it. It had no name, no nothing. She didn't even bother to look it up. So she went and she just used it directly. Do I believe someone like that wouldn't just use AI because it's easy? Because their other cover's AI. They made both of their first covers. One is AI and the other one is easy to make. All it is just like when she says that she used Photoshop, but she has a background in graphic design. That is a load of baloney. I would need to see what she's talking about, because I don't believe that for a fucking minute. Because let me tell you, all you do is you go into Adobe Photoshop and it's a button now. You don't have to do shit now. You can literally click a button that says remove background and it does it. She did that. She put it on a new background and that was it. That does not take a lot of time. AI could have directed her to do that too. Okay. I don't believe that cover is too simple. It's good. It was a good cover. Okay. I'm not dissing it. It's a good cover, but an AI could walk her through that in Photoshop. These aren't complicated covers. One layer text. It's not hard. The cover that the other lady did was way harder probably. So because she has a history of lying, I believe that she's lied about finding these images on public domain because I really couldn't find them. I couldn't find the cherry image on the internet. I should have been able to find that. The only thing that comes up is images that are not it in her book. I believe she generated that with something, some website. She didn't do it. I don't know what she used. She only really has 2 books, and the other one was done, and the other cover was 100% done by her with probably some random whatever. So she lies about the covers. She tries to hide the controversy surrounding it. I believe that she might have openly admitted it, but it was way after she got caught. So it was March to June. She needed to give up her sales, and she was hoping that it would just sweep under the rug. And that was also I don't think she admitted to it let me see what day that was. This person here is talking about the cover. This was posted before the release of the Wildfire edition. This is the original version that she made this. And this was in October. It was October 1st. In that TikTok, she quite literally is like, I don't plan on coming public with it. So she knows what she did was wrong. She had legal issues with it. She was hoping to sweep it under the rug. This is a pattern of behavior. She does something she shouldn't do. She hopes to sweep it under the rug. She's already known to lie. Why wouldn't she lie about using AI in her works? I know that some people are batting for her, but I don't believe anyone should be batting for her for these reasons, because nothing that I am seeing says that she hasn't used AI. She hasn't plagiarized. She hasn't lied to her audience to an extent. The best way to do things is to be open and honest, and doing that after the fact, after you've been exposed over and over and over, is not the way to do it. You have to do it immediately. So I also want to talk about, this has to do with the racism thing. So I did not know Mia Ballard was black. It didn't really matter that she was black until people started seeing that she was black, and then people started being racist to her because she's a black creator. Now, there are loads of other black creators that have done things the right way and have no problem with it. I understand that I'm a minority as well, that being a minority means that you will not get the same opportunities as white people, and I understand that. But at the same time, when people were being really cruel to her, saying awful things to her, I feel that is a smaller portion of the bigger picture. Because she said, I'm going offline for my mental health. I'm in a psych ward now for my mental health. Like, I understand that. I understand. She was getting harassed online. She was being treated terrible. People were saying terrible things to her, but it all started back with that Thaddeus guy who was hoping to expose her, but wanted to wait until this or that thing happened, but before the book got released. So the thing is I feel like, why did he wait if he knew that this was going to happen? And the thing is her being black had nothing to do with the book being exposed for AI, and people centering in on, oh, well, she's a black creator and that's why people don't want her to have this book out. Dude, she did so good on her own. Most people didn't even know she was black. Had nothing to do. The book was a success because people liked reading it. Granted, a lot of those people are embarrassed now that they're just reading AI, but it had zero to do with her being black. The black conversation, that was terrible people being terrible to her because she was exposed for doing something stupid. Do I believe that she should have been canceled? Yes. There were problems with this book way before. They should have just let her, that nobody should have touched it. So I believe Mia Ballard's at fault for not admitting she used AI in her process for both of her books. Mia Ballard has plagiarized another artist's work and then tried to sweep it under the rug because she got a big deal from a publisher and didn't want it ruined just yet. She was starting to get well known for this book that came out that had a lot of interesting ideas and talks about all this stuff that is, like a horror romance thing. And she was gaining some traction. She wanted all the things that came with being an author. But she had already known what she'd done. Saying this person in my writing group used AI is fucking stupid. And then try to frame it that, well, all these racists are the ones that are mad at me. No, all those people mad at you some of them are racist. And most of them are probably your audience. I feel bad for her that she had all this harassment. And I feel like it's a bigger issue because I was literally talking about this in my other video where I explained that I was worried that if I ran my own work through AI, which I did, that it would come back as AI and I would have to worry about other people doing that and maybe, going, oh, a friendly neighborhood artist used AI for her novel because it's 25% AI for whatever fucking reason. It chose that. And I had to go and rewrite my shit because I was paranoid about it. I feel that I don't know where the future is going to head. I don't know where the future is going to take us because this is a very delicate, complicated issue. And I feel that if you have used AI in your writing process, I feel that you need to be open and honest about it because people will read it regardless. I think everyone has to come to the agreement that if you decide to put it in your art or if you decide to put it as your book or whatever, you have to be open and honest about it because I feel that if she had been open and honest about it, Hachette wouldn't have looked at her at all. They wouldn't have come close. The book would have stood on its own. There might have been some controversy, right? But she wouldn't have lost any sales. She wouldn't have lost her reputation. Some people would have definitely made videos about her, but she could have come out with another novel, maybe a new pen name, and just did it again. She's worried because her name is now ruined. And that's true, it is. The same could be said of any person using AI in their writing unless they're a big author. There's always a little bit, I don't know what it's called, but there's always a thing where people will get mad, people get over it, and then when the controversy has died, you can continue on doing whatever it is that you were doing before. But it's the actions, this is like a rocket taking off kind of situation, right? When the rocket is being built, when she started seeing that her book was getting money, she should have disclosed AI. She didn't have to say anything. She could have just put the disclosure at the bottom of the description and then just left it and said nothing. Don't respond to any messages. Don't respond to any texts. That's it. All of this is coming upon her because she didn't want to disclose. And I feel that the more people don't disclose, this is going to happen again. This is going to keep happening to people because people don't want to disclose. And I understand where Dre's dossier is coming from because she wants to defend Mia Ballard. And it was weird because I watched her video and she's like, oh, I have an interview, or she claimed that it was inferred in her video sort of that there was going to be some kind of overview about what her and Mia Ballard talked about, or maybe an interview with her or something, or text messages or something, but then nothing came of it. And that was the only reason I stuck by, because I wanted to hear what Mia Ballard had to say about all this. But she's like, yeah, I just had a phone call with her. And I was like, okay, all right. So I don't believe Mia Ballard's writing career is over. I think based on that Coral Heart person, she has 25 pen names and she's writing in loads of different things, so it's not like she couldn't just make another one. I mean, people are still lying about using AI in their process. But I don't believe that all of the harassment and bothering her, I just don't, I know, you know that that's going to happen. But I don't think the stuff about the racism is necessary. You don't need to be racist because you're mad at somebody. You can literally just say anything else or not say anything at all. I don't think, in any controversies I've seen online, I don't think I have ever, I make videos, but I don't think I have ever gone to the person directly and commented at nasty things on their stuff. I'm just not that person. There's plenty of people who do. I'm just not that person. And I don't believe anybody who watches me should be that person either. I mean, after my videos, I typically don't see anybody going to those accounts that I mention and then commenting. I'm not saying I know for sure, but you know, when you make videos, you know that you're going to be sending people to a person. But I feel in my experience that the harassment that people are getting was from the original controversy and not because I made a video. But it could be. I just don't know what to think because, you know, like if it was me, I mean, I wouldn't have written with, I would not have written with AI in the first place. But I feel that if it had been me, I would have admitted early that I used AI after I saw people were purchasing it and been honest and open about it. Sure, there would be a video about me or something nasty about me, but I think I would have rather take that than be in the New York Times, bro. I don't want to be in the New York Times. Like, as a person, like, I don't want to be in a controversy so big that it ends up in the New York Times. Like, I feel bad for me for, like, that is a, like, she's going to have that following her for a really long time. Probably a few years. It'll be really, really hard to, I don't think she'll ever be picked up by another publisher. Like, not by her name. Definitely not. She would probably have to go by another name. Definitely. So I don't know what to do from here when it comes to, oh, if you haven't, please like and subscribe. I do a lot of work on these videos and I would definitely love if you guys could subscribe to me. I would love to get to 20K by the end of the year, but we'll see what happens. Just toting along. And if you want to support me and support the channel, I have a Patreon and I put all of my writing, and I started putting world building templates and stuff like that on there for people, so you can feel free to go over there and get it, I guess. But I've been wanting to talk about this Mia Ballard thing for a minute now. A lot of people have talked about it. I've watched literally probably every video about it, and to be honest, the controversy that surrounded it was really fucking dumb. Mia Ballard was her own catalyst. I think that she was hoping that nobody would find out that she used AI if she edited the book, and then when the copy editor got it, maybe that person didn't notice it was written with AI because they were just trying to make it look better, format it properly, and that's it. I mean, this has gone on too long. This has gone too long, and I feel so overwhelmed when I think of, like, would this happen to another person? Like, when I think about Mia Ballard, I think, could this happen to, like, me? Could this happen to somebody sitting watching me right now? I just don't know. I would definitely say that if you're in my audience and you end up having a book that's big, and this is just, you know, if you wrote it with AI, don't take the deal. You don't want to end up in the New York Times. Like, fuck, bro. But if you do want to support some Black creators, I have my friend Tenko, who you totally should. She's a VTuber. She's so sweet. You should go follow her. I'm sure all of you artists know about Muhammad. You should follow him too, because he's cool as fuck. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Catch you later. Bye.